Conor McGregor's 5 best UFC performances. Conor McGregor has been the headliner in some of the most important fights in the history of the UFC, and as a result, he has turned in some of the most impressive and unforgettable displays in the sport in the past few years. McGregor has made his mark on the sport by winning fights with spectacular knockouts, engaging in trash talk, and winning a couple of championship belts at weight classes ranging from featherweight to welterweight. But which of his victories in the UFC has been his most noteworthy victory? Hello everyone and welcome back to MMA Guru TV. Today, we'll go over Conor McGregor's top 5 UFC performances till now. We put our heads together and brainstormed ideas for this list of the Irishman's best UFC performances. But before we get started, we'd like to ask you to please subscribe to our channel and make sure you click that bell icon so you don't miss out on any future videos. So, let's get started. Number 1 is Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendes, UFC 189. McGregor was going to fight Jose Aldo for the featherweight belt after moving up the ranks quickly, but Aldo was hurt and couldn't defend his title, so an interim belt would be on the line in his fight with Chad Mendes. Before the fight, everyone was wondering if Conor could beat a high-level wrestler. In his previous fights, he faced people like Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway, and others who were better known for their striking skills. But Mendes did have a different style, which made McGregor look at that part of his game differently. The Irishman did have some trouble in the first round. Mendes was able to take McGregor down, and from the top position he landed some good blows. But to be fair, McGregor was also able to land some shots from the bottom. If Mendes was going to play this ground and pound game, McGregor made sure he paid the price with elbows from the bottom. Mendes ran out of gas in the second round. As he lost strength, McGregor got stronger, and Conor was able to move Mendes away from the cage and hit him with a straight left hand that put him on his knees. That night, McGregor was named the interim featherweight champion.
I'm here with the winner, Conor McGregor. Few human beings that will ever get to feel.
Number 2, McGregor versus Nate Diaz 2 from UFC 202. McGregor got a little bit of a rude awakening in his first fight against Nate Diaz. It is inevitable, and it happens to even the greatest, except Khabib. The assurance with which McGregor entered the ring made him such a threat to his opponents, but it may have been the factor that led to him losing the first fight he had with Diaz. McGregor was victorious in the first round of their first fight against each other. However, it seemed as though he believed he could knock out Diaz early on in the fight, and Diaz continued to fight. He withstood the onslaught and then responded with fire. It was the first time that McGregor had been defeated in the UFC. Then, they fought again, and most people anticipated that Conor would fight in a more cautious manner. It was abundantly clear that Conor needed to conserve some of his energy in the event that the fight went for the full 5 rounds. Conor knocked out Diaz in the first round with a series of left hands, and he also did significant damage to Diaz's front leg during that round. Diaz's corner called the knockout a technical knockout. McGregor remained in command of the fight all the way through the second round. After completion of the second round, Diaz fought back. Throughout all 5 rounds, the competitors exchanged blows with one another. McGregor would land monster shots, which would leave Diaz staggered. The native of Stockton would respond with increased force while also donning a shot. There were times when McGregor had no choice but to make a significant retreat. The evening came to an end with McGregor finishing with his hand raised. Even though it wasn't his cleanest performance, he still managed to pull off one of his signature victories.
By majority decision, the notorious!
Number 3 is McGregor versus Donald Cerrone, UFC 246. People wondered why McGregor would agree to fight Cerrone, particularly in light of the fact that they compete in different weight classes. Both of them claimed they wanted a shot at the lightweight championship, but they ultimately chose to compete at 170 pounds instead. On the other hand, the two of them had been yelling at each other for a while, and it appeared that a physical altercation between the two of them was going to occur. It was also a way for McGregor to honor the career of Cowboy by providing him with a significant payday and a main event spot in the fight. The opening sequence begins with the two individuals charging headfirst toward one another. Conor repelled a clumsy attempt at a takedown by Cowboy by thrusting his hip in his direction. We didn't realize it at the time, but Cowboy suffered a significant injury as a result of being hit in the hip. In the seconds that followed, the two grappled with one another in the middle of the octagon. Shoulder shots delivered by McGregor to Cerrone's face were particularly powerful. As soon as they were separated, it was obvious that Cerrone had suffered serious injuries. McGregor scored a knockout blow on Cowboy by delivering a left high kick that connected squarely with Cerrone's chin as the latter was retreating and attempting to regain his composure. The fight was stopped in about 40 seconds when Conor pounced on the injured legend and put an end to it. The performance served as a heartening indication that McGregor appeared to be in top form and was getting back on track for a run at the title. Number 4 is McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez, UFC 205. This is a performance that more than justifies being given the honor of being ranked first overall. It is indistinguishable from perfect in every way. The fight was daring, but the performance was even more daring than the fight. It was common knowledge that Conor had his sights set on the 155-pound weight class. Conor had his sights set on winning a second championship belt after he won the championship already at featherweight 145 pounds. Although fighters have previously been successful in winning belts in a variety of weight classes, no fighters ever held both of those belts at the same time. It would be an unprecedented step for the corporation. However, this is not who McGregor is. He is daring, he takes risks, and when you are capable of doing in the ring what he's capable of, then well, screw it. I would be the same way. After Rafael dos Anjos was dethroned as lightweight champion by Eddie Alvarez in an epic performance, Conor McGregor issued a challenge to Eddie Alvarez for the lightweight championship belt. Alvarez was known as a tough and rugged fighter, but it's likely that his reputation as a great martial artist was never fully established. Alvarez was traversed by the Notorious. During the first round of the fight, he knocked Alvarez down multiple times. McGregor always gave the impression of being relaxed and comfortable throughout the match. His left hand displayed a power that was reminiscent of mythological beings. When Alvarez would strike, Conor would disappear. After Alvarez had finished, McGregor immediately confronted his opponent again. McGregor knocked out his opponent in the second round with an incredible...
History has been made. Conor McGregor is the UFC lightweight champion.
Combination that ended the fight. He scored 4 to 5 consecutive hits, rendering Alvarez defenseless and exposing his vulnerability. It was a work of art at its very best. In spite of this, he managed to give an even more impressive performance on the mic after the match. Number 5 is McGregor versus Jose Aldo Jr., UFC 194. This is his best performance, and it can be summed up in the fewest possible words. Pound for pound, Jose Aldo ruled supreme in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. A terrible beast. When I say that the fight was over before it began, the majority of people will agree with me. Before their fight, McGregor engaged in a sustained campaign of verbal assault against Aldo. It was psychological warfare at its most sophisticated. In the world of combat sports, did he cross the line is a question that's asked quite frequently. McGregor insulted Aldo in his native language while attacking the country in which Aldo was born and raised. The actions of McGregor were obviously aggravating to Aldo. Joe Rogan could tell that the mental warfare had taken its toll before the fight even began. He asserted that Aldo appeared stiff, in contrast to Conor's relaxed and smiling appearance. According to Rogan, McGregor was successful in landing the shot. McGregor forecasted that he would touch down, and his prediction was spot on. 13 seconds. Simply stating that was sufficient. Not only was McGregor successful in taking down the division's titan, but he also managed to capture the imagination of fighting fans all over the world. McGregor was more than just a braggart who talked trash. He was not leaving anytime soon. So, that's going to do it for our video for today, folks. We hope you enjoyed watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts about it in the comments section below. Have you seen any of these 5 fights we described? Maybe you're one of those hardcore Conor fans and you've seen all 5 of them. Whatever the case may be, which one of these was your favorite? And if you haven't seen any of them, did our description make you want to go out and check it out? They're all great fights, and we sincerely thank you for spending time to hear us talk about them. Hey, make sure you subscribe to our channel too, where you will always get the latest updates from MMA Guru TV. Click that notification bell, and you will be notified every time we have a new upload and new update for you to check out. Hey, we sincerely appreciate you spending time out of your busy day with us today, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.